You know, I began this interview, Mila, talking about the fact that this is personal for you. I know that you two have young kids. I believe they're 7 and 5. And I hear that
Yeah.
you have talked to them about what's going on in Ukraine and about their heritage.
Yeah. I think, my kids, I don't speak Ukrainian. When I was raised in Ukraine, it was still under the USSR umbrella. So I spoke Russian. It is what we all spoke. So my kids understand Russian. I speak Russian with my parents. But it was never something that I was like, it's good to know another language. That's all I kind of kept thinking was it's good to know another language. But I never thought culturally speaking was important for them to know where they came from. It never crossed my mind until this happened. And it seemed like overnight we both turned to our kids and we're like, "You are half Ukrainian, half American." Like it instantly became a thing of like, and they're like, "Yeah, I get it, mom." But it is ultimately incredibly important to know where you came from because it's beautiful. It's amazing to have multiple cultures. It's a beautiful thing to have out there. We shouldn't all be alike and we shouldn't all think alike. And that's not the importance of community and growth. And so, yeah, we did. We very quickly reminded our kids that they're half Ukrainian.
Do you have other plans as to how to help the people of Ukraine?
Well, this is exactly what we're doing right now. I mean, in calling out these
I think
companies.
sanctions work. At the end of the day, we were told that the sanctions have been working. It does open up the people's eyes in Russia. So I think that we're going to continue shipping all medical supplies and humanitarian supplies, and we're going to continue housing. But in the meantime, the thing that the people can do on the internet in the world is reach out to these companies and ask them to stop producing and stop working and close their doors in Russia. So I think that a little bit of it is us doing an outcry for outreach for the court of public opinion when it comes to this.
And we're going to post an index of these companies, and I think the same sort of pressure that people have put on companies historically to encourage them to do the right thing in the right situation, especially when democracy is at stake. I think people will do. And so we're going to push on that. We're also helping. We have organized 20,000 bulletproof vests to actually move in to help protect folks. I think continuing to coordinate. We're working on the front lines right now. There's a lot. Whenever there's refugee crises, human traffickers move into those environments, and so we're working right now to try to build a database of kids that are being taken out of Ukraine without custodians and guardians, and trying to create an index of who those kids are, where they're going, who they're going with. There's a lot of work that has to be done, and also it's helping existing Ukrainian companies to continue to operate, because when this is over and they get to go home, they need to have the resources to be able to go home, and they're going to need those companies. Those companies are going to need to be strong, and people are going to need to have jobs. So there's so much more that can be done, and this is just the beginning of our work. This is going to be a long war, because Putin doesn't seem to want to step down and face the reality that he made a huge mistake, and that building a land bridge through Donbass to Crimea so he can get supplies in there is wrong. And by the way, China needs to wake up. China needs to wake up to the fact that they're not going to look down the rest of the world. We're not going to stand down.